Hi everyone, welcome to Insights with Zhang. Last week I talked about preparing for the war, and this week I'm going to talk about we are already in the war. Yes, for those ones who don't know me, my name is Zhang. I'm an international entrepreneur, author and speaker. If you want to have a happier, healthier, wealthier life, please subscribe to my channel and I'll share my insights with you, inspire you to achieve your goals. And before I start, I would like to thank everybody support me because my channel is getting into with 1,000 subscribers. So from now I should be able to make longer program, and also I can do stream. So that's a big milestone for me. Again, thank you very much. Thanks everyone for supporting me. Yeah, I have to talk about coronavirus again because this war is a 21st century war, and this war started with this biological war. You already in it. It's not preparing for the war. We are already in the war. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, you are in it. Yeah, we can see in Europe the numbers double, tripled, like 10 times in a week. We can see Italy is around 8,000 with 300, nearly 400 deaths. Germany, France, Spain, England, America, all over the world. Every country has dramatically increased numbers. I'm not going to talk about China because you can see China's number is almost zero. That's absolutely fake and lie. But this is not a very good picture because I have to tell you the truth about this coronavirus and the truth about this biological war, because according to Europe's numbers, also according to virologist prediction, this virus has a RO rate of 3.8 to 6.6. RO rate is the infection rate. That means how many people one person can infect. With the RO rate of 3.8 to 6.6, that means one person can infect 4 to 6 persons. Before a vaccine is out, there's no way to stop this virus spreading. There's no way. It doesn't matter if you lock down a city like Italy. Because this is spreading so fast, the only way naturally to stop this virus spreading is to reduce the RO rate to under 1, which means 2/3 or over 70% of the population of the globe will be infected. With a death rate of 3 to 5%, that means 3 to 5% of people will die, unfortunately. And even WHO already say that, they announced officially maybe 70%, more than 70% of the global population will be infected. That's very sad to say, which means almost nobody can avoid it. Also, no country can be out of this. So, like I said, this is a biological war. You can see in America, state of New York, state of California, state of Washington, they already declare state of emergency. In Australia, Prime Minister has activated the national emergency plan. Many countries already in the state of biological war. Yeah, you are, on the other hand, you are witnessing history. Yeah, so looks like there's no way we can hide. You might be infected. You might get sick. The only way it can protect you is your immune system. Once more and more people, say like 70% of population develop the antibody, the virus might stop spreading. That's how this pandemic stop naturally. On the other hand, vaccine, the fastest way to develop the vaccine will be about 12 months, because normally it takes 8 to 10 years to develop a viable vaccine. So we can see very difficult times, but at least I think for most people, 70 to 80% is a mild case. So you might just experiencing very bad flu. So the best way to protect yourself is to eat well, exercise well, to relax more, reduce your stress, and maybe you can get over this pandemic. I wish you the best. Now we look at another war. It's already started. You can see that. Maybe you are not in it, but you can see that. You already see that on news. That's the financial market. Yesterday, there was like a perfect storm of the financial market. Standard & Poor's 500 has done 7% in first 15 minutes. It triggers the circuit breaker, the system to stop share trading, which is the first time it triggered since it started in 2013. So this is a huge panic selling, and all the other market, worldwide, European market, Asian market, Hong Kong, that's all panic selling. Shares down average 7 to 8%. $5 trillion US dollars being wiped out the market. The direct reason behind this is the oil price plunge. The talk between Russia and OPEC has broke down, and Russia just didn't want to, they couldn't agree on the price because they want to reduce the production to stabilize the global oil price. But Russia, they didn't get an agreement. Russia, you know, I know the reason behind it, because many years ago, Russia and China, they had agreement. China will buy Russia oil at price of 105 US dollars per barrel. Yesterday's price was $35. So you can see why Putin is not in a hurry to agree to reduce his production. Of course, Saudi just retaliate with, increase more production to get into a price war. Russia is one reason. Another one is China, also the coronavirus, because the demand side, China has a very weak economy. The economy is really crashing. So the production, the supply chain in China has not properly started. So the demand for oil for freight, international freight, is dramatically reduced. And also because of the coronavirus, international travel, cruise, and also so many commercial activities being halted. So that's why the demand for oil has dramatically decreased. We can see why this oil crisis happened. Like a chain effect, the oil price drives the share market so low, and because everybody start panic selling, also because of the coronavirus spreading so fast globally. On the other side, we can see the government bond, the price for government bond, because all the money moved to safe haven, to gold or government bond. US 10 years government bond price increased a lot, and the yield dropped to under 1%, which is the lowest in 10 years. The bond yield is opposite movement to the price of the bond, because the higher the price, the lower the yield. Yeah, we can see on financial market, that's just a big war happening. Because the background actually behind this financial market, you can see China's infiltration to the international financial market, especially US market. Wall Street and those elites, they've been connected with China for about more than 10 years. That's why you can see since 2008, the financial market, the whole world's financial market is being hijacked by the big crocodiles in Wall Street. They make lots of money, because actually they make lots of money from the market going down, going up. They do short, they do long. That's their jargon for trading. And every time they create such a big bubble, big crisis, but none of them, except those ones, one or two like Lehman Brothers, they crashed down. Most of the controllers of the financial market, they've never been punished. The whole world basically has been hijacked by big financial institutions. They are too big to fail, but the whole world economy has been hijacked by Wall Street. And Wall Street, they have very deep links with Chinese CCP government, because Chinese Communist government's biggest weapon, one is, we already seen that, the biological weapon. The other one is financial, because they can use their national finance. They can use a country's finance to support a company like Huawei. They can use national finance to support those financial firms in Wall Street, like Bridgewater, like Goldman Sachs, like Morgan Stanley or Soros. They all support Chinese government, because the Chinese government invest lots of money into Wall Street. Basically, Wall Street, those big financial firms, they become CCP government's international investor relationship firm. They so many retirement management funds, they suck money out of average people, but they cooperate with CCP. They make money out of the market, out of the average little guys. Now we can see on the share market, the ones lost more yesterday was the bank shares and the high-tech shares. Also, another elite group, they deal with CCP, the Silicon Valley technology firms. You can see Google and Microsoft, also Apple. Anyway, I'm not saying they're all bad. They just capitalist. they make money. And the CCP's big weapon for infiltration the Western world is money. So those big guys, they cooperate with CCP is naturally understandable, because that's all about money. They don't care about, that's why so many people in 2008, they've lost their jobs, and so many manufacturing sector in United States, in Western world, moved to China. That's all about money. So, but good thing is some consumer side shares, they are very stable yesterday, like medical sector and Walmart, Pfizer, all those linked to average people's consumer product companies, they've been stabilized. Now, I don't know how much finance knowledge you've got, but at least you can just understand that's a war. That's a war in financial market. There are so many sides. That's a war on the money market. And American and China, they're fighting with each other. And also that's the Western world and Chinese communism government. Yeah, so we've talked about two wars we are witnessing. One is biological war, another one is financial wars. And later you will see economical wars. Of course, because China is such a big economical power in the world. Yeah, the whole world, the economy will suffer. I'm not going to talk about this time too much about economy, because that's way too much. That's about supply chain, also the market. Now I'm just need you aware of that. It's going to be economical war as well. So if you don't do too much international trading, and if your business focus on local market, it's probably okay, but your business will be infected. Just remember, we are in a war. Yeah, probably the biggest war since World War II. You might not see fire, smoke, and guns, but you are witnessing something happening. The world is changing. The world order is changing. Now I'm going to talk about some latest happening on the military side. I think that's last week, American Congress, they passed the Taipei Act. Taiwan and China is always opposite to each other. Taiwan is not a country because since 1949, communists took over China. The other opposite party, National Party, escaped to Taiwan. They established another government. But internationally, Taiwan is never an independent country. But Taiwan is definitely seeking international support to become more and more independent. Last week, American Congress just passed the Taipei Act, give Taiwan more support on international ground, so Taiwan can just standing alone, not as a country, but as a special entity to join international organizations, to have more say on international stage. That's got some, because Taiwan's got America's military base as well. So that's the power is more leaning to Taiwan. China always has forever threatened to use military power to occupy Taiwan. So this time, U.S. used to be on the China side, always say support China's Taiwan is part of China, this kind of policy. But now this time US already make it quite clear they're going to support Taiwan more. And some interesting military exercises in Mediterranean. The latest one is the American aircraft carrier and French aircraft carrier. They have the biggest exercise. In the world, only French and US, they have the nuclear-powered aircraft carriers. So this time, first time they started, they had the exercise of two Navy forms, the joint force, so they can land it on each other's decks. This is quite big because that means they can cooperate to each other. If one has problem, the other one can, like if French aircraft carriers got problem, the American, their aircraft can land and take off on the US aircraft carrier. So they just show the latest military power. Also on the South China Sea, you can see another US aircraft carrier just visited Vietnam. This is the first official visit, or the aircraft carrier stop in Vietnam since 1975. This is the first time. And also US have Navy base in Philippines. This time they're going to strengthen the protection power with Philippines and Vietnam. We can see US has arranged its military, just strengthen its military base in Pacific and also in Mediterranean. On the other side, I'm aware of the Turkish and the Syria war and also the refugee crisis. Again, Europe is facing another refugee crisis. Turkey is never a friend, but refugee shouldn't be weapons. Europe will be in big crisis if more and more refugees into Europe. Yeah, I just heard Angela Merkel almost agree, or probably already agree, she's going to take 1,500 refugee children into Germany. She's absolutely so stupid. So I don't know, I can't understand her. In 2015, she made the biggest mistake. She allowed so many refugees into Europe. And it's such a big burden for Germany and for whole Europe. And I think Germans really, please stand up against this ridiculous act. Get rid of her. She's absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, that's my personal opinion. All I'm going to say is this is a critical moment in history. We are witnessing history, maybe the biggest one since World War II. Yeah, what I'm saying is the world is changing dramatically, and hopefully we can get through these crises, these comprehensive wars safely. Yeah, I still believe we will win. I totally believe love, truth, justice, righteous will win. That's the program for me today. Thank you very much for your support, and I'll see you